The secret group chat is buzzing again. They've realized that Koichi and Neiyu's birthdays are coming up, and they're dying to know if our boy is actually out buying a gift right now. The manager is already spiraling into worst-case scenarios, imagining awkward confessions with rings or concert tickets that would definitely leave Neiyu speechless, and not in a good way. Cut to the present, where Hikoichi is actually out shopping, but he's dragged his friends along for the ride. The pressure of the upcoming birthdays is already weighing heavy on him. His curly-haired friend is busy trying to pick out a gift for a supermarket clerk he's barely met. He tells Hikoichi that if you don't try, you'll never know, which isn't exactly helping Hikoichi's nerves. Hikoichi is stuck in his own head, overthinking everything. He's worried they aren't even at the gift-giving stage yet, and he definitely can't admit he found out her birthday by eavesdropping. They wander into a trendy boutique, and Hikoichi feels completely out of place. He tries to remember what Neiyu likes and recalls her mentioning a plushie she saw at an arcade once. A store clerk pops up and asks if he's shopping for his girlfriend. Hikoichi nearly jumps out of his skin, frantically explaining he's just there to help a friend. Then his buddy suggests an alarm clock that records your own voice to wake her up. Hikoichi realizes his friend's romantic advice is actually a nightmare waiting to happen. He starts looking at everything from sweets to makeup, but nothing feels right. He's stuck wondering what kind of clothes or accessories she'd even like outside of her school uniform. His friend then pulls out a photo album he wants to fill with pictures of himself. Hikoichi realizes he's on his own here and begs Kirishima to step in and stop the madness. Kirishima just watches from the sidelines, noting how serious Hikoichi is being about this. He figures the guy should just be left alone to figure it out himself. Finally, Hikoichi spots something. Kirishima asks if he managed to find a good present, and Hikoichi tries to play it cool while hiding his blushing face. Kirishima gives him a bit of a pep talk, telling him he's actually good at reading people. He tells Hikoichi to just be himself, and it won't be weird. With that bit of encouragement, Hikoichi decides to take a step forward. He's done overthinking. It's time to actually pull the trigger on a gift. Fast forward to Hikoichi clutching a small, wrapped box with a look of pure terror on his face. He actually bought it, but now the real panic is setting in. He heads to the train station with newfound determination. Today is the day he's finally going to give Neiyu her birthday present. But once he's on the train, the doubt creeps back in. He keeps checking his watch and the gift, wondering when the perfect moment is. Maybe right before he gets off? He starts daydreaming about a grand, romantic gesture where he hands it over and everyone cheers. It looks great in his head, but reality is a different story. His daydreams are crushed when he overhears two girls nearby. One of them is ranting about how receiving a gift from a random guy you barely know is just a huge burden. The group chat is watching this go down in real time. Hikoichi is standing right there, sweating bullets as the girl's words hit him like a ton of bricks. The girl, Maze-chan, isn't holding back, saying it's basically a desperate confession of zero dating experience. Hikoichi feels like his HP has just hit zero. Her friend tries to defend the idea, saying that being wholeheartedly honest is actually kind of amazing. She even admits that maybe she's in love with the idea of it. But Maze-chan shuts her down, calling it a soap opera delusion. She says middle schoolers these days know better than to get excited over stuff like that. She claims one-sided love is just selfish. You get your own hopes up, don't improve yourself, and then expect the other person to just be kind in return. In the chat, the office lady realizes that Maze-chan isn't just being mean. She sounds like someone who's been messed around with and hurt before. Maze-chan admits she'd just be caught off guard and scared if someone did that to her. The chat starts to think maybe our boy really should wait. But then Maze-chan hides her face in embarrassment, and her friend realizes she was just acting tough. Even the manager in the chat is starting to get emotional. It turns out Maze-chan was just hiding behind a barrier of words. The chat relaxes as the sun sets, and Hikoichi is seen getting off the train alone. It's late at night now, and Hikoichi is sitting on a station bench, looking completely defeated. The morning attempt was a total bust. He looks down at the gift still in his hand. He just couldn't find the right timing, and now he's wondering if he missed his only chance. He gives himself a quick slap to the face to reset his mood. Tomorrow is another day, he tells himself, trying to stay positive. The group chat is dissecting the whole thing, agreeing that unrequited love is all about timing and a whole lot of bad luck. But then, just as he lets his guard down, an unexpected opportunity walks right onto the platform. The doors open, and Hikoichi freezes. There she is, Neiyu herself, standing right in front of him on the late-night train. The chat is absolutely losing it. Both of them ended up on the same late train home, and they're sitting directly across from each other in an empty car. Both of them are blushing furiously and looking everywhere but at each other. Hikoichi can't believe his luck or his lack of a plan. They keep stealing tiny glances, and every time their eyes even come close to meeting, they both snap their heads away like they've been shocked. Hikoichi realizes a chance like this will probably never happen again. He knows he has to say something now or regret it forever. He finally manages to choke out a good evening, mentioning what a strange coincidence it is to meet on the night train. Neiyu responds, just as flustered as he is. The group chat is holding its collective breath as the first real conversation finally begins. The uni student in the chat notes how crucial this moment is. The first conversation can make or break everything. They both try to start a new sentence at the exact same time, leading to an awkward double apology. But at least they're finally talking. Hikoichi is stuck. He's got a mountain of things he wants to tell her, but as soon as he opens his mouth, nothing comes out. He's worried he'll just say something stupid. He thinks about how much she's changed his life. Every morning used to be a drag, but now he genuinely looks forward to the commute just for the chance to see Neiyu again. Up in the digital peanut gallery, the group chat is going through it. The uni student and office lady are practically begging Hikoichi to find an opening, while the manager just wants our boy to say anything. Hikoichi feels the gap between them more than ever. She goes to a prestigious school, while he's barely cracked a book in his life. He's convinced they're from two completely different worlds. Suddenly, he spots a keychain on her bag and lets out a loud shout that startles half the car. He quickly apologizes, realizing he just yelled like a maniac out of nowhere. He points to the little character dangling from her bag and asks if she's a fan of the game Genshin. It's a shot in the dark, but it's the only connection he's got. Neiyu's eyes light up instantly. She lets out an enthusiastic yes. I love it, with a bright smile. It's the first time he's seen her this expressive. The conversation finally starts flowing as they geek out over their favorite characters. The manager is watching from across the car, shocked at her unexpected reaction. In the chat, the office lady is getting impatient, demanding the manager give them a better play-by-play. The uni student calls him out, knowing the old man is just enjoying the show too much. They take a second to thank each other for all the little things, the towel, the grain of rice, and even her waking him up before his stop. They're finally bridging the gap, one awkward thank you at a time. Hikoichi decides it's now or never. He pulls out the wrapped box and holds it out with both hands, asking her if she'll please accept it as a token of his gratitude. His brain is spinning. He tells himself this isn't a confession, just a good chance to say thanks. He wonders what his friends would say if they could see him now. Internally, he's coming clean. He knows it's a desperate excuse to give her a birthday present. He doesn't want to just be the guy who sits near her. He wants to actually matter to her. Would you please accept this? He asks again, his heart thumping in his chest. It's just one small step, but for him, it feels like crossing an ocean. Nayu just stares at the gift, frozen. She looks like she can't even process what's happening. She starts to panic, stammering that she can't possibly accept it because she hasn't done anything to deserve a gift. Hikoichi's heart sinks into his stomach, but then she blurts out that she was the one who wanted to give him a gift. Hikoichi can only stare in confusion as the tables suddenly turn. She admits that she's the one who started playing Genshin just to have something to talk to him about. She's been stressing out over how to thank him just as much as he has. She pulls out her own little gift bag and holds it out to him, asking if he'll accept her thanks too. Now they're both standing there, arms extended in a standoff. Hikoichi is floored. He can't believe she went through the same trouble for him. It's a total mirror image moment on the train. He tries to brush off his own help, but she insists he's the one who's been helping her this whole time. They're stuck in a loop of being way too polite. Finally, Hikoichi suggests a thank you exchange. It's the perfect compromise to stop the back and forth and actually get the gifts into each other's hands. Just as the tension breaks, the announcement for Heimshiro Station blares out. The train screeches to a halt, and they both realize they're about to miss their stop. They scramble off the train together, hearts racing as they part ways on the platform. The awkwardness is still there, but everything has changed between them now. Back at home, Hikoichi is staring at the cookies with stars in his eyes. He realizes they're handmade and starts wondering if she made them just for his birthday. Meanwhile, Nayu is at home, blushing as she looks at the beautiful bookmarks he gave her. She can't believe he noticed how much she reads in the mornings. She ends up face-planting on her bed in a fit of pure joy. She looks at the calendar and realizes he actually managed to give it to her on the right day. She remembers his face and the way he looked at her. It's the best birthday present she could have ever asked for. Across town, Hikoichi is having a moment of his own, munching on the cookies and thinking about how lucky he is. He's already making plans for next year. The scene shifts back to the train station the next morning. The station and the tracks look the same, but for these two, everything is brand new. On the 6:58 train, the impossible happens. They actually look at each other and exchange a good morning. The surrounding passengers look like they've seen a miracle. The group chat is absolutely exploding. They can't believe the progress they're seeing. The office lady is proud, while the manager is still acting like a smug mentor. The uni student is skeptical, wondering if anything else happened that they missed. The manager insists he saw everything, acting like he's the guardian angel of their romance. They realize both kids used the thank you excuse to hide their real feelings. It's a classic coincidence that's got the whole chat room squealing. The manager starts bragging about how they stayed up talking about the game all night. The office lady and uni student realize the old man really missed the mark on the privacy thing. Hikoichi tells Nayu the cookies were the most delicious thing he's ever eaten. She gets so flustered she tries to tell him they were just a recipe she followed, but she's clearly lying. She admits they were her best batch yet, but then starts worrying if she's being too obvious. They're both heart-pounding disasters, and the chat is loving every second. The uni student calls it a low-level psychological battle. They're both amateurs at love, overthinking every word and gesture like they're playing a high-stakes game. Nayu admits she was almost too scared to use the bookmark because she didn't want to get it dirty. Hikoichi is just thrilled she actually likes it. They are acting so much like a couple that the chat starts asking if they're seriously not dating yet. The flirting is so heavy it's making the observers sick in a good way. Hikoichi admits he really thought about what to get her and is just glad he went with his gut. He's looking at her with a smile that says it all. He almost lets her name slip out, and they both catch it. The group chat is screaming at them to just make it official already before their hearts actually explode. Hikoichi asks if she makes sweets often, and Neiyu admits it's just a hobby when the mood takes her. She tries to downplay the effort she put in, but the manager and the office lady are already seeing through her act. Both of them are having serious heart-pounding moments, trying to convince themselves they aren't misinterpreting things. Hikoichi keeps telling himself he mustn't get the wrong idea about her sincere thanks. The group chat is losing its patience, practically screaming for them to just start dating already. Even the uni student thinks they've still got a long way to go, despite the obvious sparks. Hikoichi almost slips up and calls her Neiyu-san, but manages to backtrack at the last second. He's just relieved he could finally express his gratitude through his gift. The sound of cicadas marks the arrival of summer. Hikoichi is already worrying if he'll be able to talk to Neiyu again during the break, his mind racing with all the things he wants to learn about her. Neiyu is also caught up in her own thoughts as the train arrives. She's surprised at her own excitement to see him, reminding herself they don't even have a promise to sit together. The morning train routine continues, with Hikoichi wishing for even a simple good morning from her. He's desperate for any chance to bridge the gap before summer officially begins. The distance between them on the train is palpable. The manager and the office lady are watching them from their own corner, calling it a shame that Neiyu couldn't get a seat next to him. Hikoichi and Neiyu are both fidgeting, clearly dying to talk, but feeling awkward with other people around. The group chat compares them to puppies waiting to be fed, noting how far apart they currently are. Hikoichi regrets missing his chance to say morning. He realizes they aren't even friends yet and doesn't even have her contact information, despite the recent gift exchange. They both feel like they've been getting closer, but the prospect of a month-long break is stressing them out. The train reaches Asatsuya Station, and the person sitting next to Neiyu looks like he's about to get off. The group chat is on the edge of their seats as they watch the guy next to Neiyu. They're hoping he'll leave so she can slide over and face Hikoichi. The excitement is reaching its limit. Total disappointment as the guy just sits back down after checking the station sign. The group chat reacts with collective despair, while the manager tries to defend the man's right to check his stop. The careless guy stretches and then immediately falls back asleep, much to the frustration of the secret observers. They're convinced he's just toying with their emotions now. Hikoichi and Neiyu accept that it might just be one of those days where they have to settle for a delicate sense of distance. They're trying to stay positive despite the frustration. Wait, the guy suddenly remembers something and bolts for the exit. The group chat and the teenagers are all shocked by his sudden movement as he realizes he missed his stop. Finally, with the seat empty, the long-awaited moment arrives. The secret observers are practically glowing with anticipation as Hikoichi and Neiyu finally find themselves sitting face to face. They manage a shy good morning to each other, their hearts racing in the sudden quiet of their shared space. It's a small victory, but it feels like everything to them right now. They both blush furiously as they try to keep the conversation going. They're so aware of each other that they can't even think straight, and the group chat is loving the deafening silence of mutual unrequited love. The morning flies by in a blink of an eye for them. Before they know it, they've already reached Sakuronomiya Station, leaving the secret observers wishing for just a little more time. Summer break has officially begun, and the trains are more packed than ever with people heading to concerts and festivals. The group chat is feeling the heat in the crowd. The morning commute is a chaotic mess of people talking about live shows and events. Hikoichi and Neiyu are squeezed together in the crowd, a stark contrast to the usual quiet morning train. Despite the noise, they're managed to stand right next to each other. Hikoichi is secretly hoping that he'll at least get to see her like this every morning throughout the summer. The crowd is so intense that they're practically touching. Hikoichi offers to switch places with Neiyu to give her more room by the wall, being his usual considerate self. Neiyu is completely overwhelmed by the physical proximity, her face turning beet red. She politely declines the offer, but both of them are clearly feeling the badump of their hearts. The group chat is actually grateful for the mob train for once, as it's forced the two even closer together. They're enjoying the bittersweet scene from their own crowded spots. Just as they thought it couldn't get any worse, even more people try to squeeze onto the train at Kakubo Station. The manager and the office lady are practically squashed against the wall. The train sways violently as it departs, forcing everyone to scramble for a handle to hold on to. Hikoichi and Neiyu are caught in the middle of the jostling crowd. Hikoichi manages to find a handle and offers it to Neiyu, but she insists she's fine leaning against the wall. The uni student notes that even with one strap, they're still protecting each other. Meanwhile, the manager and the uni student are having a ridiculous fight over a single strap, much to the annoyance of everyone else. The office lady just calls them both assholes. Someone gets up and offers their seat, but both Hikoichi and Neiyu are too polite to take it for themselves. They end up in an awkward loop of trying to give the seat to the other. The group chat is telling the two bickering guys to learn a thing or two from the beautiful mutual kindness of the teenagers. The manager is still complaining about respect for elders. Neiyu notices Hikoichi has a scrape on his elbow and asks what happened. He tells her it's just from club practice, revealing that he's on the train early every morning for that reason. Neiyu is surprised to learn he practices every single day, even during summer break. She realizes with a start that they'll be on the exact same train every morning for the entire holidays. Hikoichi is equally shocked and delighted by the coincidence. He tries his best not to let his excitement show, though his face is already telling the whole story. The group chat is also riding a wave of excitement, realizing they'll get to keep watching over the two throughout the whole summer. The cicadas are getting louder, matching the mood. Suddenly, the atmosphere on the train shifts. No one can move a muscle, as if they've spotted some kind of dangerous intruder right in their midst. There, right at their feet, is a capsized cicada. The group chat and the teenagers are all paralyzed with fear, knowing exactly what that means in the summer. The uni student explains it's a cicada bomb, a bug you think is dead until you get close, and then it suddenly attacks with unpredictable movements. Neiyu is visibly trembling with fear. A narcissistic-looking guy suddenly steps forward, claiming the cicada was drawn to his absolute radiance. He reaches out his hand, promising to escort the bug off the train. The bug immediately springs to life, buzzing frantically and scaring the daylights out of everyone. The narcissistic guy is now the center of a chaotic mess as the cicada goes on a rampage. The manager decides he's had enough and bolts for the exit as the train arrives at Kakuba Station. He refuses to stay on a train with a cicada bombardier, much to the amusement of the others. The narcissistic guy's radiance turns out to be a magnet for misfortune as the cicada decides to relieve itself right on him. The office lady and the uni student watch in horrified amusement as the department head is also eliminated from the car, unable to handle the bug's antics any longer. Hikoichi isn't just worried about himself. He's determined to protect Neiyu-san from any stray cicada attacks. He even offers to switch seats with her, his mind racing with the resolve to use his own body as a shield if it comes down to it. Hikoichi realizes he can't just let the chaos continue. He needs to find a way to help the poor bug escape the train. Even the uni student starts to empathize, noting that the cicada is probably just scared and acting out of desperation to defend itself. To everyone's surprise, Neiyu is more concerned about the cicada's short life than her own safety. She thinks it should be out enjoying the sunshine and living its best life instead of being trapped here, showing a kindness that leaves the group chat speechless. Inspired by Neiyu's kindness, Hikoichi takes action, using his shirt as an improvised bug net. The secret observers are impressed by his ingenuity. The fabric provides a large surface area to catch the bug while being soft enough not to hurt it. With a triumphant catch, Hikoichi successfully traps the cicada. He makes a heartfelt declaration about not being enemies and wanting everyone to have the best summer ever, effectively ending the tiny crisis and protecting Neiyu-san. As the tension breaks, the group chat falls into a brief existential funk, musing about how insignificant humans are compared to the raw chaos of Mother Nature. The uni student's philosophical side is really coming out today as the train moves on. The cicada is finally free to soar through the summer skies, leaving Hikoichi and Neiyu with a shared sense of accomplishment and a strange new fascination for the season. The summer is just getting started, and they're already making memories together. The scene shifts to a local sensation, Captain Kara's fried chicken. The aroma of spicy black pepper and juicy meat is apparently so famous that it has its own dedicated fan base, including the hungry members of the secret group chat. Back on the train, Hikoichi and Neiyu are being tormented by the mouth-watering scent of deep-fried chicken wafting through the car. It's so intense that they can't focus on anything else, and the empty train car only makes the smell more prominent. The manager and the office lady are also suffering, realizing they'll have to face this aromatic battle every morning now the new shop has opened. The uni student is so hungry he's ready to check everyone's bags for hidden snacks. A loud growl echoes through the train car, and both Hikoichi and Neiyu immediately turn red and deny it was them. They're both desperately hoping the other didn't hear their stomach protesting the lack of breakfast in front of their crush. Neiyu is mortified, not wanting Hikoichi's first real impression of her to be the girl who's always really hungry. The uni student and the office lady are having a field day with a label, noting how much it contrasts with her quiet image. They somehow end up talking about the Mackies at Kahagawa Station. Neiyu's eyes sparkle as she describes the perfect balance of salty, crispy, and fluffy fries in great detail, making everyone's hunger level spike to dangerous heights. The mental image of warm fries and juicy chicken is now firmly planted in Hikoichi's brain, and he's losing the battle against his own imagination. He's worried that his head is just going to be filled with fried chicken thoughts for the rest of the day. The uni student and the office lady are caught red-handed eating snacks to stave off their hunger. The manager feels betrayed, having thought they were all suffering through this together as a team of observers. Just when they thought it couldn't get more vivid, the thought of a cold cola is added to the mental mix. The fried chicken set is now complete in their minds, creating an infinite loop of salty and sweet cravings they can't escape. Suddenly, a familiar face appears, Ganshin Geek. The secret observers wonder if he's here to save the day or deliver the final, hunger-inducing blow with his usual talk about limited edition items and collaborations. Ganshin Geek excitedly reveals that there's a new Ganshin collab set at K-Turkey Fried Chicken. He's been counting down the days to finally get his hands on the limited edition collector's folder that comes with the meal. The description of the spicy, bone-in goodness is too much for Hikoichi and Neiyu to handle. They can practically see the image of someone happily devouring the chicken, and their stomachs are now at their absolute limit. To their utter shock, Ganshin Geek invites them both to join him for the collab set, since they're all fellow fans of the series. It's an unexpected offer that could turn this hungry morning into an actual meal together. The group chat is losing their minds at the prospect of them eating together. Hikoichi and Neiyu are both paralyzed, imagining the reality of sitting down for a meal together, as if it were their first unofficial date. Hikoichi is ready to skip club practice for this, but Neiyu is panicking about the logistics of eating messy chicken on the bone in front of her crush. The internal struggle for both of them is reaching incredible speeds. The dream is shattered when Genshin Geek realizes the collab set has already sold out. Despite the disappointment, the two teenagers share a moment of mutual endurance. Their lunchtime destined to be filled with nothing but chicken-flavored thoughts. Back on the train after summer break, and the usual crowd immediately notices something different. Hikoichi is rocking a serious tan. He tries to play it cool, saying he just had a blast with his friends, but his smile says it all. The train crew is already losing it, debating if this is some kind of dramatic summer debut or if he's turning into a delinquent. Meanwhile, Maze-chan and Okyut-chan are dealing with their own drama as a little Hikoichi shows up with a salon tan. The observers are confused. Is this kid trying to copy their boy, or is he actually working hard? The rumors start flying about scandalous tennis clubs, making everyone wonder if the kids are being influenced. The manager and office lady are desperately hoping he's still pure, but the kids' expressions say otherwise. Okyut-chan points out that even if he acts cool, he's clearly a total amateur when it comes to girls. The university student notes that even with lingering doubts, it's hard not to worry about them making mistakes. Suddenly, a couple of playboys in star sunglasses try to hit on the two girls with some weak lines. Before things get weird, the mini Hikoichi steps up, looking like he's about to drop a major confession. He blocks their path with his arms wide, standing his ground against the older guys. He tells Maze-chan she's precious to him, and he won't let anyone talk to her so casually. Turns out, he lied about the tennis club and got the tan just to look cool enough for her. Maze-chan isn't exactly swooning, reminding him that she's not his girlfriend or anything. But she gives him a chance, telling him he can start by helping with her summer picture diary today. Watching the kids, Hikoichi starts feeling pretty good about how things are going with Neiyu lately. He's determined to take that one big step forward and finally get the answer he's hoping for. The goal is set. He's going to ask her out for tea. A small, sound first step. But as soon as he sees her, his heart starts racing like a drum, and even the observers are getting nervous. He starts fishing, asking if she has summer classes every day to see when she's free. Neiyu is surprisingly upfront about her schedule, making it easy for him to find an opening. Naturally, he panics and tells her he's busy with matches on the weekends. Absolute pro move. He catches himself and pivots to cafes, trying to salvage the conversation before it dies. He mentions a cute place he's been wanting to visit, but admits he's hesitant to go in there alone. Neiyu is as dense as a brick, telling him not to worry because plenty of guys go there solo. He starts spiraling, realizing that asking her out for tea is basically just a confession in disguise. He gets so flustered he almost blurts out that he likes her right then and there. He tries to be direct, even though his face is turning redder by the second. He folds at the last second, just asking for menu recommendations instead of a date. Neiyu is left wondering if he just really likes sweets, while the observers are dying from the missed opportunity. She realizes later that she should have at least given him her contact info, feeling like a total airhead. Flashback to earlier that summer. Hikoichi is at the beach, hoping for a coincidental run-in with Neiyu. His reality is a lot less romantic, though, as Yabo and the rest of the Loud gang show up to ruin the vibe. They're busy ordering a mountain of yakisoba, while Hikoichi just tries to stay out of the sun. Yabo catches him staring at every girl with black hair and immediately calls him out on his pathetic behavior. Hikoichi admits he still hasn't figured out how to actually ask her out, let alone get her number. Yabo tells him he just needs to practice and offers to be his ultimate wingman for the day. He tells Hikoichi to follow his lead and get ready to pick up some girls. He struts off with way too much confidence, determined to show Hikoichi how it's done. Yabo spots a beautiful girl with long black hair from behind and decides she's the perfect target. He approaches with his best line, only to realize he's just hit on his own mother. After that total disaster with the girl at the beach, Yabo is taking a moment to recover. His buddy tells him to stop flirting and get back out there, but the guy is completely drained. He doesn't listen, though, bolting right back to his feet to try again. He spots another woman from behind and goes for a bold approach, only to find out it's his Aunt Noriko. The family genes are apparently a little too strong. Back on the train, Kurashima is giving Hikoichi a little pep talk. He reminds him that while pickup lines are fun for guys like Yabo, Hikoichi is building something real with Neiyu day by day. Hikoichi is practically shaking, realizing that if he tried to be smooth, he'd probably just kill the mood. He started to understand that he doesn't need flashy bravado when he has genuine progress. He starts thinking about chance meetings and how they never really happen on their own. It's making him more determined than ever to make something happen himself. Meanwhile, back at the festival, Yabo is just shoving takoyaki into his face while everyone else looks for Neiyu. Her phone is off, and she's completely vanished into the crowd. The train observers are all wide-eyed as they watch the two kids. Neiyu is blushing hard, thinking about the possibility of meeting Hikoichi somewhere other than just this morning commute. She spots a poster for a fireworks festival on August 23rd and immediately starts overthinking. Her imagination is running wild with the idea of Hikoichi actually inviting her to something that romantic. She snapped back to reality when she sees Hikoichi looking absolutely stunned on the train. She wonders what could possibly have him this rattled. It turns out they've run into someone unexpected. A stylish girl with long blonde hair greets Hikoichi, and the manager, office lady, and uni student are all freaking out, wondering who this new player is. Her name is Itsugai, and she's actually Kirishima's ex-girlfriend from middle school. Hikoichi can't believe he's just happened to run into her after all these years. The atmosphere on the train immediately turns into a disaster zone. Neiyu is glancing over with a look of pure panic while the observers debate if Hikoichi is actually some secret ladies' man. Itsugai laughs it off, saying it's been 3 years since they broke up and asking Hikoichi if things are still awkward between them. The manager is losing his mind, realizing Hikoichi actually had a dating life back in middle school. Neiyu is watching them intensely, comparing herself to this mature-looking girl. She starts wondering if this is the kind of person Hikoichi is actually into, feeling totally outclassed. In a desperate attempt to compete, Neiyu starts messing with her bangs right there on the train. The office lady thinks it's the most adorable thing she's ever seen, while the boys remain completely oblivious. Itsugai reflects on their old relationship, calling it a childish imitation of romance, where she was too caught up in her own feelings. She seems way more adult now, which only makes Neiyu feel more threatened. The observers are convinced Itsugai is trying to get back with him, especially when she mentions wanting a more adult relationship now. They're practically screaming at Hikoichi to be careful in front of Neiyu. Hikoichi asks if she still has feelings, which the observers think is way too blunt, but the guy is just trying to get a straight answer. Neiyu is shrinking in her seat, content just to be beside him, but fearing the worst. Neiyu's inner monologue is going full speed, worrying that if she stays quiet, someone else will just swoop in and take him away. She knows she has to step up her game. Itsugai leans in with a mischievous look, asking Hikoichi if he'd want to get back together. The tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. She bursts out laughing, revealing she was just teasing him. She asks him to tell Kurishima that she's happy now and dating a guy who's 10 times better than he is. The relief in the train car is palpable. Neiyu looks like she's just been handed a second chance at life, while the observers are all cheering for the misunderstanding being cleared up. Fast forward to another morning, and the usual crew is noting that there's no luck today. Sakurai-kun and the Ganshin guy are blocking any chance for the kids to talk privately. Himari joins the group, and the observers are immediately on high alert. They know Himari is insanely pushy, and they're wondering what kind of chaos she's about to bring to the morning routine. Himari leans in and asks Neiyu for advice about a friend who is talking to a boy from another school. The observers are all thinking the same thing. She's obviously talking about Neiyu. She explains that the boy mentioned a cafe and how he was nervous to go alone. She asks if that means he was actually trying to invite the girl out. The manager and the office lady are in total disarray. They're realizing that Hikoichi's advanced long game might actually be working, even if it was just a coincidence. Himari and Sakurai-kun are both invested now, debating if it was a 100% date invite. The future of Hikoichi and Neiyu seems to be resting entirely on their advice. Himari tells her she should just go with him anyway, making the office lady cheer for how smooth she is. They're all impressed by her ability to read Neiyu's personality. Neiyu is blushing hard, asking what's good at that cafe. The observers are all stunned, wondering if she's really going to go through with it. Sakurai-kun chimes in with his male perspective, saying any real man would be upfront about a date from the start. The office lady is ready to kick him for confusing everyone. The train is totally off the rails now. Himari is blushing, the uni student is charging ahead, and the manager is just trying to figure out how this is going to play out. Neiyu is thinking seriously about what kind of relationship she actually wants. She's gripping her bag tight, realizing she can't just stay in the simple coincidence phase forever. She looks over at Hikoichi, thinking about how happy she is just sitting next to him, but she really wants to learn more and more about him. Her goal is clear. She wants to go places together, just like she would with friends from school. She's finally finding her courage. On the train, they finally greet each other with a shy good morning. The observers are all watching from the sidelines, feeling the weight of this 20-minute love story. We're introduced to a new face, the silent observer. He's a guy who's lost the battle for a good spot to watch the blossoming romance today. He reflects on how this became his daily routine. A few months ago, they were just strangers, and now they're actually talking to each other. He's become insanely invested in their story, waking up extra early just to make sure he doesn't miss a single moment of their interaction. He heads off on his bike at 5:30 in the morning, feeling determined. He admits he had zero interest in romance back in high school, but here he is, acting like a hardcore fan. He arrives at the station and sees the true veterans already there. The manager, office lady, and uni student are all lined up, proving they're even more dedicated than he is. They're all standing around, watching Hikoichi and Neiyu like it's a championship match. Even with the heat, they wouldn't trade this spot for anything just to see the kids' expressions. Inside the train, the group of observers is frantically typing away. The department head is stunned by the warp speed of their messaging, wondering if everyone else on the car knows exactly what's unfolding right in front of them. Meanwhile, Hikoichi and Neiyu are locked in a strange, synchronized movement. Hikoichi suddenly realizes why it feels so familiar. There's a giant mosquito buzzing right between them, and they're both desperately trying to avoid it. Both of them snap back to reality, faces flushed bright red. They apologize in unison, realizing they were so caught up in chasing the mosquito that they nearly bumped into each other. The proximity is clearly more than they can handle. Behind them, the trio of hardcore fans is celebrating with a literal toast of their coffee cups. Even without ever speaking a word to one another, they feel a deep sense of unity, like fans of the same sports team. That is, until the kids turn around and catch them in the act. The observers immediately freeze, trying to project an air of calm that fooled absolutely nobody. The department head looks like he's playing a high-stakes game of red light, green light, while the university student can only sweat in silence. Hikoichi is in a total panic because he accidentally touched Neiyu's hand during the mosquito chaos. As he apologizes profusely, the observers reflect on their own hardcore dedication, their passion to wake up early, and their flawless, coordinated watching techniques. Sakavin, the university student, decides to extend an olive branch to the silent observer who usually watches from a distance. He invites the newcomer to join their ranks and help watch over the two kids, claiming they've all been in his shoes before. The silent observer is genuinely moved by the adult friendship being offered, but he politely declines. He admits he prefers to enjoy the romance at his own pace. The veterans laugh, telling him the invitation is always open if he ever changes his mind. The next morning, the battle of the passengers is in full swing. The veterans are bickering over the best viewing spots until Sakurai-kun tells them to shut up before the kids see them. The department head is particularly smug, having arrived so early that even Neiyu wasn't in line yet. Hikoichi is showing Neiyu something on his phone, talking about a newly released sci-fi movie that's been getting rave reviews. He seems excited, but his face is still dusted with that characteristic blush. Neiyu is having a total internal meltdown, wondering if Hikoichi was actually about to invite her to the movies. She tries to calm her racing heart, convinced she's overthinking it, because going to the movies together would basically be a date. Hikoichi manages to find his courage, remembering Neiyu said she liked sweets. He mentions a crepe shop a friend told him about, showing her a picture of some incredibly fancy crepes. He's clearly trying to bridge the gap between their morning commutes. Neiyu encourages him to go check it out, but the conversation hits a wall as they both fail to stick the landing on a real invitation. Behind them, the department head looks like he's about to have a medical emergency from the sheer tension. Sakurai-kun notes the shift in their dynamic. They're no longer just strangers who happen to meet on a train. They're actively trying to establish a personal, real-world connection. The group of observers is back to spamming stamps on their phones, much to the university students' annoyance. The office lady and the department head are desperate for any sign of progress, refusing to just sit back and watch patiently. Hikoichi and Neiyu are laughing now, talking about a popular mobile app. They realize that despite going to different schools, the trends and social circles are surprisingly similar. The badump of their hearts is almost audible. The messaging spam continues unabated as the observers realize the kids are practically falling over themselves to make a move, but are too overwhelmed by the beach ball of romance they're tossing back and forth. Neiyu looks at her phone with an expression of pure desperation. She wonders if she's being too direct or if he's just ignoring her signals. The simple act of asking for contact info feels like an insurmountable wall. Neiyu is overjoyed to have secured the seat right next to Hikoichi this morning. However, her happiness is tinged with anxiety. She needs reassurance that this wasn't just a lucky coincidence, but a choice he made. Hikoichi casually mentions a Kamita coffee shop just outside the station where he sometimes goes to study. He suggests that if they happen to run into each other there, they could grab some tea. It's the most transparent invitation yet. He doesn't stop there, getting oddly specific. Saturday morning, around 8 a.m. Nayu is so flustered she's practically chewing on her hair, wondering if she's just imagining the weight of those words. The department head is practically screaming in silence. The specificity of the time and place is a total game changer, and the office lady is already considering checking the place out herself. Then, the crushing realization hits the observers. The meeting is on a Saturday morning at a cafe. They won't be there to witness it. Their faces are a mask of pure, unadulterated horror. Hikoichi is determined. It's Saturday morning, 7:45 a.m., and he's standing at the station. He's convinced that if Nayu actually shows up, then their entire relationship is finally moving beyond pure coincidence. Standing in front of the Kamita coffee shop, Hikoichi's heart is hammering against his ribs. He's rehearsing what he'll say, hoping to find the confidence to tell her he wants them to be real friends. He enters the shop and is greeted by a waiter asking if he needs a table for one. Hikoichi nervously replies that he's meeting someone, his eyes darting around the room in search of a familiar head of black hair. Unknown to him, the department head is already there, hiding behind a newspaper. He's frantically messaging the others, his eyes nearly popping out of his head as he watches Hikoichi settle in. "The boy's here," he messages, causing a total panic for the office lady and Sakurai-kun. They're all happening to be at Sakuranomiya Station, claiming a bunch of crazy coincidences for their presence. In a hilariously pathetic display, the entire trio of observers has converged on the cafe, each pretending to be there for a different reason. They're all hiding behind menus and newspapers, trying to spot Nayu. The department head is confused as he looks out the window. He realizes there's another Kamita coffee shop at the station's east exit, while he's currently sitting in the one at the west exit. The horror sets in as they realize there are two Kamita coffee shops at Sakuranomiya Station. The department head thought it was the one visible from the train, while the office lady went with the first search result. The situation is a total disaster. Hikoichi is at one shop, doing stretches to look around, while Nayu is at the other, pretending to go to the bathroom just to scout the room. They are both waiting for someone who isn't there. Time is ticking away. It's 8:07 a.m., then 8:19 a.m. Hikoichi stares into his coffee cup while Nayu keeps checking her phone, both wondering if the other is just running a little late. By 8:48 a.m., the mood has turned somber. Hikoichi sits alone at his table, while Nayu is hunched over her phone in the other shop, the silence between them growing louder with every passing minute. It's past 9 a.m. now. The observers are panicking, realizing that if this continues, both kids will leave thinking they were stood up. Nayu looks like she's on the verge of a total breakdown. Hikoichi is spiraling into self-doubt, convinced he just jumped to conclusions and that Nayu never actually intended to meet him. He feels like a fool for thinking he was anything more than just a guy from the train. The department head is on the phone with Sakurai-kun, finally realizing the geographical error. "You're at the east exit, Kamita? Not the west exit." The realization of their shared failure is devastating. "We're their cheerleaders," they scream internally. They realize they can't just be bystanders anymore. They have to do something to fix this mess before the kids' hearts are broken for good. Hikoichi makes a split-second decision. Even if there's only the slightest possibility she's at the other shop, he has to try. He throws down his money and sprints for the door. At the exact same time, Nayu realizes her mistake and starts running too. The observers are in a state of high alert, terrified that the two will just end up passing each other by in the chaotic station crowd. The camera pans across the sea of commuters at Sakuranomiya Station, highlighting the scale of the challenge. Two kids trying to find each other in a crowd of hundreds, all while their self-proclaimed cheerleaders watch in agony. Hikoichi finally reaches the other Kamita coffee shop, gasping for breath as he asks the waitress if a girl matching Neiyu's description was there. The waitress nods, saying she just paid her bill and ran out in a hurry about 5 minutes ago. Hikoichi realizes that even if his hair and uniform are messy, he doesn't know for certain if it was actually Neiyu. He thanks the waitress for her help as he leaves. Both Hikoichi and Neiyu are at the station, frantically searching for each other. They wonder why there's so many people today and if they might have just passed each other. Neiyu thinks that Hikoichi might still be around here somewhere. Hikoichi and Neiyu think about how many people actually take the same train they ride. They realize they really want to see each other. In a moment of pure desperation, Hikoichi and Neiyu shout internally, "I want to see you," as they both sprint through the station. Kirishima approaches Hikoichi at school, asking why he's spacing out. Hikoichi admits that running into someone by chance probably isn't something that would happen again. He's always looking, trying to catch a glimpse of Neiyu, but he feels like it's a lost cause now. Hikoichi looks at a poster for a fireworks festival at sea. He promises himself that if they ever happen to meet somewhere that's not the train, he'll make sure to find her next time. Meanwhile, the group of observers are also feeling the frustration of the near miss. The story shifts to a scene from Ganshin, where Cheyenne is looking for someone in a crowd. The characters reflect on how hard it is to find someone when you don't know where they are. Cheyenne watches over everyone with kindness. Despite hating crowds, she loves places where people are laughing and having fun. The hero realizes that she's watching from a quiet spot just out of the way. The hero finally finds Cheyenne, and they share a moment of connection. Hikoichi is shown playing the game on his handheld console. Hikoichi and Neiyu are both crying while playing the game, moved by the storyline. The office lady notes that it's been about 2 weeks since the cafe incident, and they still haven't seen each other. The observers are in despair. The office lady is at her limit. The manager feels like he's withering away, and the university student is worried that Hikoichi thinks Neiyu is avoiding him. They haven't seen each other once since the incident, and now the Obon holidays are starting. Neiyu wanted to apologize to Hikoichi, but she doesn't even know if he showed up at the cafe. She's worried that she made a mistake and that he might be angry at her. The office lady and the manager are frustrated, wondering about their Obon plans. Kirby calls out to Hikoichi. Kirishima hits Hikoichi on the head with an ice pack, telling him to cool off. Hikoichi apologizes, saying he was just lost in thought. Kirishima asks if he's still with them. Hikoichi reflects on the cafe incident, wondering if he should have been more clear. He worries that he tried to get too close, too quickly, or if he just misunderstood everything from the start. He's scared to find out the truth now, but he really wants to talk to Neiyu again. Hikoichi sighs, looking out at the sky. He really wants to see Neiyu. He thinks about how pathetic it is to rely on Kirishima for everything and that he needs to handle things on his own. Hikoichi tries to act like he's fine, telling Kirishima that he's bursting with energy. Kirishima doesn't believe him, noting that his attempt to convince him is almost insulting to his intelligence. Kirishima warns him that his spacing out is putting the rest of the team in danger. Hikoichi notices that Kirishima has a bruise on his face. Kirishima dismisses it, saying it was just a little thing with his shitty old man, who came back for the first time in ages. He tries to change the subject back to the girl Hikoichi was talking about. Hikoichi tells Kirishima that he's talking about him, not Neiyu. He's worried about Kirishima and tells him not to say that it doesn't matter. Kirishima laughs and calls Hikoichi an idiot for worrying about him when he has his own problems. Hikoichi is flustered, saying he hasn't even said anything weird today. Kirishima thinks that Hikoichi is always like this when it comes to others. Kirishima looks at Hikoichi's determined face, wondering when he'll show that same expression to Neiyu. He thinks that Hikoichi will always be the best kind of idiot. As they walk away from the station, Kirishima wonders if Hikoichi is really going to get his girl acting like that. The observers continue to watch and comment on the situation. The office lady is frustrated, thinking that one of them needs to be a little pushy, but she knows that neither of them is that type. The university student thinks that their considerate personalities are what drew them to each other in the first place, and that's why they're all rooting for them so much. Suddenly, they notice something and wait.